Hello again and welcome to Talk. This is the Scan Report, where we look ahead to our next opposition. This time it's Hull City with a Tuesday night and a Yorkshire derby, sort of. Nathaniel's joined us from Hull and back. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing very well. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good stuff. Glad to hear. Also, let's find out about Hull. The start of the season has been very, very good. Just outside the playoffs. Is that about what you expect at the start of the season, or has it been better or worse? How do you see it so far?
Yeah, at the moment, I think we're just above where I thought I'd be. I predicted to be 11th, and I mean the championship's so tight we could finish, like 15th or 4th at this point. So long as we're near the playoffs towards like the last 8, 10, 6 games ish, then we're still having a pretty good season. I think most people thought we'd just miss out this year, but I think the exciting thing at the moment is that we're doing quite well. Away form's much better than our home form, so if we can get the home form to click and reach the level we know we can with a young team, then I think playoffs is a definite possibility. But it's a long season. We're only about a third of the way in, so 8 so far. We're very happy, but hopefully we just get that little bit better and get that consistency, especially at home. So far, pretty good.
Yeah, let's talk about Liam Rossini. Obviously, he came in about a year ago. He seems to have settled in very, very well. I assume you're very, very happy with him, but the progress seems obvious.
Yeah, I think because he's a bit of a Hull City legend, he was part of our FA Cup finalist team. Even if we're a bit lower down in the table, we'd be happy enough to give him that time. But over the year, he's been, just fantastic. With the new ownership as well, the communication with the fans is a whole lot better. And Rossini being, his nana's from Hull, that's the chant we do. It's really great to have a manager that, used to play for us. But it's not just that, he is also a very good coach. We've improved defensively massively. And then this year, scoring goals and breaking those teams down has been that sort of next step. As you said, a year ago, his main thing was just to keep us up because we were in a bit of a perilous position. We probably left it too late to have a playoff push. But this year, with a whole season, I think playoffs is definitely the aim. And, the way we play it's a clear sort of system that we play out from the back. Can be a bit risky at times, but bringing in Allsop in goal has been vital for that. And we've got Micah Seri as well, and he just knits everything together. So not only is it great that we're well coached, but also because of the way he plays and wants his team to play, we've been able to sign players who want to come and play in this system, like Scott Twine and others that perhaps wouldn't have done otherwise. So I think, everything's pretty positive at the moment. He's a young coach, so there's things he can improve at, but so far it's been a really fantastic year, and there's been clear progress.
Absolutely. Just on your home form, you said one defeat. Am I right saying one defeat at home this season? Just a Southampton defeat.
Yeah, we've had, I think, only 3 defeats in a year as well at home. To Reading, which was just diabolical, but that was the first home game, so we've had a long time to improve. And then Burnley, who were very good last year. So, only 3 defeats at home. We don't always win. I had a lot of draws where we just can't find that winning goal. A lot of 1-1s, especially last year and this year. We had about 4 draws in a row earlier this season. But we don't really tend to lose.
I remember the 0-0 at your place last season. Not a classic from either with the Keane red card. Not a classic game, that one.
Not at all.
Our away form make life difficult. They like to come at team sit or
sorry, the line's not great, but about the home form, we really struggle against teams that do sit back. Our last home game, it took us 90 minutes to score against Huddersfield, who really didn't offer anything. And with Rotherham's form, it could be quite a similar game to that 0-0 last year. We're hoping that if we get that early goal, like we've not had against Huddersfield and Plymouth, and Leeds was a 0-0 earlier, that if we get an early goal, we could hopefully finally win a game by a big scoreline. But we've really struggled to do that because you can't win 5-0 when you score the first goal after 90 minutes, like has been the case sometimes. So I think we just need to be more confident, and it's been the decision making at home. The amount of chances we've had to score where we've been one-on-one with the keeper, and rather than just having a shot, they try and dribble it around them or pass it, or just, a random decision. And, we've not made the most of the opportunities we have. Against Plymouth and Huddersfield earlier in the game, we really should be scoring 3 and 4s more often at home. So hopefully Tuesday's the time to do it, but it'll be a tough game. I assume Rotherham will be fairly happy with a point, knowing that if you do defend quite a lot, you can get a draw quite easily from the MKM Stadium. But it'll just be a case of sort of a war of attrition, I think, like we've had, because we always have a lot of the ball.
Yeah, I think I see that very time. Let's look at a few individual players. I've got to mention Philogene. He's the one that seems to stand out. Paid a bit of money for him. How good is he? Because I've only seen him briefly. How good a player is he, and how good can he be?
Yeah, he's incredible, and he probably has the potential to go all the way. We've had, this will be our third sort of fantastic young English winger we've had in the last few years, because we had Bowen, who's gone on to be incredible for West Ham. Even though it's not the best European Cup, he is a European Cup winner. But Philogene's definitely better than Lewis Potter, who was the last one we had. He was a good player, but Philogene, he's one of the best wingers in the division, if not the best. It's 10 goal involvements in probably about 10 games, and he just seems to be getting more confident and more confident. And he's not reached the pinnacle of his sort of form yet, because he has so many chances. Against Preston, the second to last home game, he had about 5 shots that he could have scored, but he got the 1 goal. So, yeah, I think he's definitely our best player going forward. And any team in the division will struggle against him. And yeah, he has the potential to go all the way. And so long as, perhaps we might have to sell him for 15 million to Aston Villa. They've got like a clause. But if Villa don't want him, or we don't get promoted this season, yeah, we could easily make Bowen money, sort of 25 million off him, maybe even this year. I imagine there'll still be some interest from Premier League clubs that are very desperate at the bottom of the table in January, but I imagine he'll be here for at least a year, but we'll have to get promoted to keep him. I think he's that good.
Bro, fair. Good, nice to hear. Is there any other players to watch out for, or any other people that, I know you've got a few good players, are there any other standouts that we should watch out for?
Well, I guess there are a few, but the main other one I'd want to talk about is Tyler Morton, who had been a really good signing. He was at Blackburn last year, but he's come on another sort of level this year, sort of a defensive midfielder. But in the last week or so, he has scored his first 2 career goals, one for the England under-21s, because him and Philogene and Liam Delap play for the England under-21s. So he scored his first ever career goal, and then his first ever senior goal against Swansea, which was a really nice, well-taken sort of volleyed pass into the net. So it looks like he's sort of reached another level where he can sort of play as more of an attacking midfielder, box to box. So I think, them and Philogene and Morton are probably our best informed players at the moment.
Good to hear. Young players, like say, good English players getting a chance. It's good. As long as they don't hurt us, I'm glad to hear it. Give us your prediction then, Nathaniel. What do you reckon? What's your score prediction for Tuesday night?
Well, I think I heard that, was it 3 of the 4 people on your podcast predicted a Rotherham win? Is that more just in hope?
I think it was a bit of positivity from Friday, to be honest with you.
Yeah, a draw in the last 2 home games, draw with Ipswich and Leeds are pretty good, but I don't necessarily think this will happen. If we get a goal within the first 20 minutes, I think this could finally, after many home games, the last time we scored or won a game by more than 2 goals was like February or January this year at home. We beat QPR 3-0. Hopefully this could be another one. So, don't take it too personally, but I did predict 4-0, but that's also possibly in hope. It could easily be 0-0 or 1-0 to City. It'll be a tight game unless we get the early goal, I think. So fingers crossed 4-0, but yeah, could be anything.
You're right. When we play Watford, the early goal, with conceding 5 minutes, we set up to go straight. And if you go 1-0 down, game plan
You've
goes
got to start attacking then, haven't you? Yeah. So that's what we need to do, because we've scored so many, or we've gone behind so many times, and then we give ourselves a mountain to climb.
Fair enough. Thank you very much, Nathaniel. I'll put all the links in for Hull and back so everybody can find some stuff. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you, everybody who is watching on YouTube. Make sure you've subscribed, like the video, and all that kind of stuff. And we'll see you all very soon. And up the Millers.